Fall has come, friends, and with fall, some exciting new studies for this month of October. This month, we are learning about some amazing animals, including bats, owls, and one more. I just saw it a second ago. Spider. Thank you for the reminder. We're also learning about spiders this month. Bats, owls, and spiders for the month of October. So today, though, we are going to be learning all about bats. All right, bats. We are going to be reading a fiction story that has a lot of nonfiction facts about bats. This story is called Amara and the Bats. Friends, it's a really beautiful story about how you can make a difference. You can help solve problems that you see. So while we read this story about how Amara helped protect the bats, we are going to be looking for some key vocabulary words. The words we're looking for are bat, nocturnal, mammal, echolocation, endangered, and the last word that goes along with our theme, which is protect. Protect is to keep safe from harm or injury. And the theme of this book is protect the bats. That's what Amara is going to do in this book. So without further ado, let's get started reading Amara and the Bats. Look at the front of our book, friends. On the inside cover, we have lots of different drawings of bats. There are so many different types. I didn't know there were this many types of bats, did you? There's a gray-eyed flying fox bat. He kind of looks like a fox. A brown long-eared bat. He has long ears like a bunny rabbit. Let's see, a Mexican funnel-eared bat at the bottom. Wow, so many different bats. They're amazing. Oh, a ghost-faced bat over here. Oh my goodness, so many different types of bats. All right, our title is Amara and the Bats, written by Emma Reynolds. Amara really loves bats. Oh, there's one of our keywords. A bat is a nocturnal mammal that has wings and a furry body. That's a bat. And she loves them. When Amara was very small, a bat got trapped in the attic of her old house. Amara asked if she could hold the bat, but her mom and big brother Samir told her they should wait for the wildlife rescue team. They would know how to handle and look after the bat safely. When the wildlife rescue team arrived, they caught the bat carefully and held it very gently in a towel. Look at that little baby bat. Amara got to see the bat's fluffy face, beady eyes, and delicate wings up close. Some people are afraid of bats, but Amara thought they were so cute. Raise your hand if you think this bat is cute. I do. I think he's pretty adorable. Part of her wished she could keep it as a pet, but Amara knew the bat would be happier out in the wild where it could fly around and be free. Ever since then, Amara has loved bats. Her favorite thing to do is collect all the bat facts she can find and write them in her notebook. Mom, did you know that bats are nocturnal? That's another one of our vocabulary words. Nocturnal means active, mainly at night. So we are not nocturnal as humans. We as people like to sleep at night. But bats and other animals like wolves are nocturnal. That means they're up late at night. All right. They also hang upside down like this. Look, she's hanging upside down. And they're the only mammals that can fly. Oh, there's another word, mammal. Mammal. Mammal is a type of animal that feeds milk to its young and that usually has hair or fur covering most of its skin. Bats are mammals. Amara and her family were moving to a new town. She was supposed to be packing up her room, but she kept getting distracted by more bat facts. Squeak, squeak! Amara squeaked all around the house. Samir, did you know that bats have such a high-pitched squeak that we can't even hear them? They use echolocation to find their food in the dark. There's another word, echolocation. That means when animals use sound and echoes to locate items, objects, or food. Echolocation. Dolphins also use echolocation. Here's her brother Samir. I can hear you, Samir laughed. She was squeaking so loud. Amara and her family often watched the bats flying near their old house. She knew that all kinds of bats lived all over the world, so no matter where they lived, she'd always be able to see them, or so she thought. After they moved, Amara couldn't wait to visit the park in her new neighborhood to see the bats flying around at sundown. Did you know that most bats eat insects or fruit, but some eat fish, frogs, and even flowers? They have really long tongues to reach the nectar. They are amazing pollinators. But when Amara and her family got to the park, there were no bats to be found. They asked the park ranger about the bats, but she hadn't seen any in a while. Oh no, that's a problem, isn't it? We used to have a few bats nearby years ago, the ranger said sadly, but it's just me working here now, and more of the land is being sold to make room for buildings. Amara felt a sad feeling in her tummy on the way home. Look, her face looks so sad. Can you show me what your face looks like when you're sad? Amara was sad too. She couldn't stop thinking about the bats and their habitat. There was so much that needed fixing. She felt as if the weight of the whole world was crushing down on her. What could she do to help? Amara, her mom knocked on the door gently. I unpacked the rest of your books, and your new nature magazine arrived. Thanks, Mom, said Amara, still feeling glum. That's a word that means sad. It will feel like home soon, I promise. Her mom placed the magazine and Amara's bat books on the bed and then gave her a hug. Getting a hug makes you feel better, doesn't it, when you feel sad? Amara opened her magazine and started to read. There was a story about young people organizing beach cleanups to clear plastic from the oceans. And another story about a boy teaching people to connect with nature by writing a blog and fighting to protect endangered birds. She found lots of stories and videos online about kids taking action to help animals and the planet. Soon, Amara realized if they could make a difference, so could she. And she had an idea. So she's going to help solve the problem. Let's see what she does. Amara showed her mom and Samir a picture of a bat house, a little wooden house built for bats to roost in. Maybe if we can help the park build some bat houses, the bats will come back. We have to try to save the park. She decided to talk about her idea for show and tell the next day. She was still new at the school, so she was a bit nervous to stand up in front of her class. But Amara didn't have to worry because her classmates really wanted to help. They started to tell her about their favorite animals. Jasper loved tigers and Lucy loved pangolins. Their favorite animals were endangered too. There's another vocabulary word. Endangered means an animal or a plant that has become very rare and could die out completely. Polar bears are also endangered. So are tigers and bats. When Amara told Jasper and Lucy more about the bat houses, they had some great ideas. We could have a bake sale, said Jasper, and paint signs. Lucy waved her paintbrush. What if they could build a nature reserve in the park so that lots of wild animals would have a home in the city? So they're finding a solution to the problem. Amara felt inspiration bubbling up inside her. She loved a challenge. The entire class painted signs and baked cakes to raise money for the nature reserve. Amara's new friends all wanted to help the bats come home. She was so happy. Amara's mom made some important phone calls, and soon their neighborhood gathered together to hold up their painted signs. It was hard work, but eventually people listened. The park would get its nature reserve. Wow, friends. Over the next few months, volunteers helped make a bat-friendly sanctuary, a wild place where nature could flourish in the park. They made a new pond and planted flowers that smelled nice at nighttime so lots of insects could come by for the bats to eat. They're working so hard, friends, to make a home for the bats. Here, there's lots of bat facts that tell us more about bats. The park ranger put the bat houses up in a special place with help from the wildlife rescue team. I hope they come back, Amara said thoughtfully, sipping her hot chocolate. We might have to wait a while, the ranger replied. It's okay. I can wait. Oh man, friends, being able to wait is such an important skill. It's hard to wait. I bet it was really hard for Amara to wait for the bats to come home because she was so excited about it. Let's see what happens next. Every month, Amara and her family would check to see if the bats had roosted. They waited and waited and waited, but the bats didn't come. Amara tried to stay brave. One day, when Amara was eating pancakes for dinner, her mom got a phone call. Ring, ring, ring. They needed to go to the park right away. When they arrived, the ranger waved them over. Amara was nervous. Had something happened to the bat houses? Suddenly, her mom and brother whispered, Amara, look. What do you think is up there? Can you guess? Oh, I think you're right. And there they were! Flying above her, the bats had made a new home, and Amara felt at home too. It was the best feeling in the world. She made a home for the bats, and they came. That's amazing. And at the end of the book, there are more bat facts that we can read and learn about. Friends, thank you so much for reading about Amara and the bats with me. Next time, we'll do our story map and some comprehension questions together. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.